Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Sunday, October 1st, and you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Recap. As always, you know you can check me out on the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. I won't be before you long, so let's get right into the news. According to Will Ospreay, the WWE offered Rev Pro, one of the UK's top independent promotions, $1 million to buy him. $1 million. That kind of felt like a lowball offer, with the owner of Rev Pro declining. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe they're still up for sale. In some Impact contract news, both Sami Callihan and PCO's contracts are up with Impact. They will be moving all from the company. As you know, they both signed extensions, and PCO more specifically, he wanted more creative leverage and a salary bump. It's going to hurt to see them go, but it's all right. They will land somewhere. Eddie Kingston has signed a new multi-year contract with AEW, a new full-year deal. It's good. It's good. Eddie is much beloved in professional wrestling, and some sad news: Stars has canceled Heels after its second season. I believe the second season just ended, or maybe has about a week left, and it sucks. It was a really good wrestling show, but do not fret. The showrunners are shopping it around, hoping to find a new home for the show. And some not so surprising news, it looks like more and more likely, according to Andrew Zarian, that AEW will be moving its digital library over to Max, and possibly even, well, more than likely putting pay-per-views on through Max. We reported last week that that Max is starting to do live sports, as a lot of contracts and companies and streaming companies are moving over to live sports. So it makes sense for AEW to join them, as they are under that umbrella. Rhea Ripley, when she's expected to be returned, either this week or next, probably in time for the pay-per-view. But seeing as how Dominic Mysterio just lost, she might be coming back sooner rather than later. On the injury front, Kyle O'Reilly, we have an update on his in-ring status. He is still working, pushing hard, and I'm getting everything in order with his neck, so we don't know when exactly he'll be back, but he's been on hiatus for a good minute. R-Truth, we have an update on his injury. Remember, he got injured during NXT. He's medically clear and ready to go when needed. Dustin Rhodes is out currently with a knee injury. Doesn't sound like it's anything too serious. No surgery needed, just some rest and relaxation. Adam Cole, we have an update on his injury. Looks like he shattered his ankle in 3 different places, and he has to have surgery, and he will be out for a good long while. We don't know if this is a legit injury or not, but I'm going to report it as such. Dakota Kai gives us an update on her return from injury, from her ACL injury, and she's still getting evaluated. Her recovery's going great. She will be slated to start wrestling training again right around January or February. So we'll see what's up with that. On the rating side of things, Collision, the September 22nd episode, brought in their highest viewership in months. They pulled in 562,000 viewers. Raw this past week, going up against the NFL, they pulled in 1.4 million views with a 0.41 in the 18-49 demo. That was Monday Night Football, with my birds being victorious. Dynamite this past week, their ratings, they pulled in 855,000 viewers with a 0.28 in the 18-49 demo share. Solid week. Go home show for Wrestle Dream. SmackDown this past week pulled in 2.1 million viewers with a was that a 6.9 possibly in the 18-49 demo. Number 1 across all of broadcast television once again. And Rampage pulled in 324,000 viewers with a 0.15 in the 18-49 demo. That is the news, and we shall be right back. All right, let's get into the week that was. Monday Night Raw was kind of a substandard ho-hum show as usual. Cody Rhodes opened up the show and he wanted to talk about Jey Uso. Then he's interrupted about the Judgment Day. Then he goes to attack Cody after Cody eggs him on, saying, "Yo, if you lose your titles, what's gonna happen when Rhea returns?" So KO and Sammy come out to help Cody, and then JD McDonough comes out with chairs to help the Judgment Day, and the Judgment Day still get beat up. Yeah, that happened. Bronson Reed defeated Otis. Becky Lynch tells Tegan, "Yo, I was expecting you, not Natalya. Call your shots." Natalya doesn't like it, and she doesn't like it, so Adam Pearce books a match between Tegan and Natalya for later on in the evening. Ciampa defeated Vinci. Tegan then defeated Natalya. Damian Priest tells McDonough he will never be in the group. Seth Rollins calls out Nakamura, and Nakamura has a video package challenging Seth to a last man standing match for the World Heavyweight Championship, and Seth accepts. Dominic Mysterio retains the North American Championship against Dragon Lee. Nia, after being confronted by Zoe Starks, defeated Zoe Starks. Miz TV with Drew. Miz keeps needling Drew on before Drew's being interrupted by the New Day. The Drew then goes on to defeat Kofi Kingston after Eric and Valhalla of the Viking Raiders get involved. They attack Kofi after the match, and once again Drew turns his back and keeps on walking. Chad Gable says he's not done with Gunther, tells that to Vinci and Kaiser, and that he will, and Gunther tells them, the rest of the Imperium, that he will handle Ciampa himself. In the main event, the Judgment Day retained the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships over Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens with an assist from JD McDonough, and all hell breaks loose. Cody, McDonough, the Judgment Day, KO, Sami, I think Jay showed up too. We're all just fighting, so I think we're getting War Games. Over on Dynamite, we had our Wrestle Dream Go Home show. Phoenix laid an open challenge and retained the North American Championship, retained the International Championship against Jeff Jarrett, Adam Cole, and MJF. We have a little segment with them going fishing and running into Captain Insano. Don Callis and Takeshita attack Ibushi at his dojo in Japan. Nick Jackson defeated Claudio and Brian Cage to earn a shot against Phoenix. I believe this is taking place this coming week. Adam Cole is injured, and it sucks. And then Roderick Strong, who's now in a wheelchair, being pushed by the Kingdom, yells out, "Adam!" and says that he needs him for an emergency. So Adam Cole goes with Roddy and the Kingdom. And then Jay White comes out and tells the Guns and Juice to stay in the back. And he confronts MJF, and they have some words, and it's a really, really good promo segment. Essentially, we're elevating Jay White to where he should be. He tells MJF that he's taking the World Championship away from him. JR had a sit-down interview with Darby Allin and Christian Cage, and it was the same stuff, as goes on before. And Darby says, he's more than the face paint, so on and so forth. Orange Cassidy defeated Penta, Matt Jackson, and Austin Gunn in a fatal four-way. This was just get us ready for the tag team match at Wrestle Dream. Julia Hart defeated Willow Nightingale. This was a really good match. It was really, really fun. I don't think this is a good spot for Willow, but it's good. Swerve and Hangman had their contract signing, and they said words, and Swerve had a really good line. He said, "What's a farmer to a mogul? What's something, and then what's a buckshot to a kill shot?" That line flew over everybody's heads. They signed a contract, and then Hangman stabs Swerve in the hand. And we thought that was the end of the show, but then 4 men are in the back attacking Jay White and beating him down. And then the leader of this group was wearing MJF's devil mask, but it clearly wasn't MJF, right? He had nothing to do with this. Over Impact, we are moving towards Bound for Glory after celebrating 1,000 episodes. This show gets a thumbs up for it, by the way. Chris Sabin retained against Allen Angels. Alex Shelley says in the arena, Josh Alexander needs to respect that he's a champion and he better bring his best. Rhino got a win, squashing some person, and Steve Macklin attacked him after the match. Rhino but it escapes Segura. Tasha Steelz and Deonna Purrazzo are deciding to team up. So this is my one complaint about the Knockouts division. All the teams are just singles wrestlers teaming up and no true teams. It really sucks. Eddie and Frankie will finally end things. We had one last celebration for Yuya and Joe Hendry. The Rascals mocked them, and if Joe and Yuya can defeat them in a tag match, Yuya gets to stay. They lost. The Design say they will rebuild. Tommy Dreamer and Heath defeated Kenny King and Sheldon Jean, and Crazy Steve attacks Dreamer after the match. ABC wants revenge against the Good Hands. Jonathan Gresham defeated Speedball Mike Bailey, and Mike was looking for like a handshake after the match, and Gresham turns his back on him. Are we getting a Bully face turn? Because Steve Macklin came to Bully for help and was like, yo, help me with Rhino. And Bully's like, listen, I've known Rhino for 25 years, so I'll talk to him. And Macklin's like, talk to him? After what I did for you? Talk. And Macklin calls Bully Saw, so we might be getting the Bully face turn. In the main event, Trinity defeated Giselle Shaw in a really good match, and then Mickie James comes out, saves Trinity from being attacked, and then tells Trinity, listen, I have a rematch and I never lost a championship, so we're getting Trinity versus Mickie at Bound for Glory. Over on SmackDown, Jimmy and Solo are just unhinged. The show gets a fist. The Bloodline celebrate taking out AJ. Carl Anderson attacks Jimmy. Jimmy defeats Carl. Michin slaps Jimmy after the match, and now we have Catalyst. Jimmy and Solo are just losing it. And I love how Jimmy's got all this bravado while Roman's not here. And Jimmy and Solo spend the night just beating up people backstage, including Shantae Adonis getting sent through a table. We have the Grayson Waller effect with Bobby Lashley. And Waller wants Lashley, to make amends with Austin Theory, which is not happening. But Lashley says he might need to look elsewhere when it comes to the Street Profits. The Profits come out and are just confused. And Lashley tells you want back in? You got to prove it. Austin Theory defeated Cameron Grimes. So we have a Cameron Grimes siding, and he and Dragon Lee get into it. So Dragon Lee might be coming to SmackDown. Who knows? Rey Mysterio retained the United States Championship against Santos Escobar, and the Street Profits attacked him after the match. And Bobby takes out the rest of the LWO, and the LWO later challenges them to a match at some point. Charlotte disrespects Bayley because that's exactly what she did, and then goes on to defeat Bayley. Asuka stops Damage Control from attacking Charlotte. Lord. And then Bayley agrees. Asuka says something in Japanese, and Bayley was like, sure, you and Charlotte want to face Io in a triple threat match for the championship? Good, we'll do it. And Io's like, that's not what she said. Hilarious. John Cena wants to fight. He finally made his way to the arena, and he says that he's ready to fight. This was why he came to SmackDown. Yeah. So Jimmy and Solo come out. They start beating up Cena, and then LA Knight comes out to help Cena. Signs the contract, and we've got a match, ladies and gentlemen. Over on Rampage, the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn retained the Trios Championships against Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, and Brother Zay. Eddie Kingston retained the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship against Rocky Romero. They had a really spirited, good match. They just showed mad respect to each other because Eddie respects everybody, unless you disrespect him. The Shibata respectfully comes out to confront Eddie Kingston. I was really looking forward to this match. The Righteous got a squash. Dig what I'm saying, man. And in the main event, Shida defeated Ruby Soho to earn a shot at Saraya for the Women's Championship. Over on Collision, we had our Wrestle Dream Go Home show. The show gets to Andrade defeated Juice Robinson. Jericho and Kenny will have each other's backs just for the 2 nights. We got another fun portrait of a star from Tony, and it was just amazing. She's just doing amazing work right now. The Kingdom defeated the Best Friends, and then they say that Adam Cole has the latest doctor's appointment to meet them at Roddy's. Now I'm really deciding to see if this ankle injury is real or not. Julia Hart defeat Vert Vixen, and she calls out Chris, eggs her on, and then bounces. And Chris tells her that her time is up tomorrow. This was the only women's segment on the entire show, besides that and Tony. Yeah, when they say someone's in action, the match is never going to be long because, once again, Tony Khan does not care about women's wrestling. Jericho and Kenny Omega defeated the Gates of Agony. I don't agree with this, as I don't think two singles wrestlers, even no matter how great they are, should ever defeat an established tag team, but they coexisted. The Righteous won a squash, and then they destroyed the dude's ankles. And in the main event, Aussie Open, Ricky Starks and Big Bill defeated FTR, Bryan Danielson, and Wheeler Yuta. Zack Sabre Jr., who was on commentary, he and Danielson have a stare down the ring. They slap each other just a little bit. So, yeah, we're going to get this technical masterpiece. Our matches of the week for Monday Night Raw: The Judgment Day versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. This was absolutely a great tag team match. From Dynamite, Nick Jackson versus Claudio Castagnoli versus Brian Cage. Fun. Claudio, Brian, Nick Jackson. Just awesome stuff from SmackDown. I'm sorry, from Impact. Jonathan Gresham versus Speedball Mike Bailey, because when is a match between these two not going to be great? From SmackDown, Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar for the WWE United States Championship. If Gunther had the belt, he would say WWE United States Heavyweight Championship, which I'm perfectly fine with. For Rampage, Hikaru Shida versus Ruby Soho. They put on a banger, yo. Put in some work. From Collision, Andrade El Idolo versus Juice Robinson. And from No Mercy, Ilya Dragunov versus Carmella Hayes for the NXT Championship. And Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton in an Extreme Rules match for the NXT Women's Championship. We have some good matches this week. On our star of the week, I gotta give it to Julia Hart. Man, she's been on a roll, and she's looking to really make a name for herself against Chris Statlander at Wrestle Dreamer. That is the show. Thank you all, as always, for listening, for watching. Don't forget to check out the socials. Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube. Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram. The 215, that is spelled out. And of course, Coffee, Patreon. All donations are always welcome. Don't forget to check out the High Risk Wrestling Podcast every Saturday, where you get your podcast from. That is the High Risk Wrestling Recap. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce. Peace.